We are live here at Peoples OMODA JAECOO in Edinburgh. And as we go to mirror this live before we get underway, thank you very much to everyone who is joining us. My name's Colin. We are here live in Edinburgh. Do let me know where in the world you are. We've got 3 cars to show you this lunchtime. The JAECOO 7, which is over to my right. We have the OMODA 5, which is right here, and the OMODA E5, which is on my left. Hello to people who are joining. Hello, Mohammed. Hello, something Panda. Leo as well. This is the OMODA E5. We're going to talk about that one. We're also going to talk about this one right here. That is the OMODA 5. I really like this car. I drove it recently. And then this is the JAECOO 7, which we'll be talking about in depth as well. Do let me know where you are. Hello to Leo. It's Colin here in Edinburgh. Do let me know where in the world you are. And in the next few minutes, we are going to be showing you all 3 of these cars. Your J7 arrives on Tuesday. Hey, very nice. Got the same one. I've got loads of comments coming in. Glasgow. I've got to celebrate my Glasgow peeps. I spent 13 years in that city. Lovely, lovely city. All right, London. London, baby. Great to see lots of you joining. We are going to give you a 3-in-1 tour over the next half an hour. Thank you so much for joining me this lunchtime. The sun is out, the weekend is in sight, it's payday today. So all the more reasons to stick around, and thank you everyone for getting in touch already. When will there be a London branch? That's a great question. A question I do not have the answer for. If it were management on this call, then maybe. On this call, on this TikTok, then maybe they would know. All right, so this is the JAECOO 7. This is the OMODA 5, and then the OMODA E5. And that, my friends, is where we're going to start. We are going to start with this beautiful car here, the OMODA E5. If you are just joining us, thank you so much for being here. Mohammed saying he's recommended JAECOO to all his friends. Good man. We're going to get to the JAECOO 7 very, very shortly. But if you are just joining us, this is the OMODA E5. Ben is asking, what's the difference between JAECOO and OMODA? There are a couple of different, I'd say major differences between the two. They are both owned by Chery, who are a Chinese manufacturer. But let me talk you through some of the main differences. First of all, of the 3 cars I'm going to show you, this is the electric one today. The current offer for this car is $339 deposit and $339 per month. And having driven this car, I can tell you what an excellent drive it really is. And I want to get this as wide as I possibly can so you can see it. D&G saying, I bought the grey OMODA you took to Murrayfield. The wife loves it. Fantastic. Yes, I was there at Murrayfield, talking to or harassing lots of passers-by to get them to look at the car. Excellent. Okay, what deals are on the JAECOO? Ryan, we will have that. I will have that. Currently, my brain is full of the OMODA E5. The JAECOO is over here. Stick around. I'll talk about the deals we've got on that at the moment, but thank you for the question. All right, let's go around to this side of the OMODA E5. The current range of the E5 is 257 miles. That is based on road testing that happens across the manufacturer's industry. They basically have to confine to the same standards. 257 miles range on that. And the best offer at the moment from Peoples OMODA JAECOO is $339 deposit and $339 per month on the E5. I'm going to give you another, let's see, as well. Oh, fantastic. I'm also being told the OMODA E5 has a free charger that comes with a purchase or a £900 charging credit. How about that for a post-Easter deal? Either a free charger or a £900 charging, no, not even that, £900 that you could use to help you save some cash. Now, what colours does the E5 come in? Thank you, Manisa, for another excellent question. This one, I quite like the red. I believe this one comes into up to different, maybe 10 different colours. You have your usuals, your whites, your blacks, your greys. I could see someone earlier in the comments saying they bought the grey version of this one. But also, as we turn our attention to the actual OMODA 5, this is the petrol version, you'll see that it also comes in a range of different colours. Best place to go is indeed peoplesomoda.co.uk, where you'll see that we are the go-to for all things premium SUVs and EVs. There we go, that's a lovely view. Old Bill asking, where are you? We're here in sunny Edinburgh, Bill. To be precise, we're in Hermiston, which is in the west of the city. But if the name Peoples sounds familiar, we are also in Falkirk, we're also in Liverpool, and there's a Peoples Ford in Livingston as well. So thank you very much, wherever you are in the world. Someone's saying, I can't wait for your coverage of the upcoming OMODA 9. That should be interesting. And the JAECOO 8, that's on the way. All right, so one final time. This is the OMODA E5. Having driven this myself, I had this for a weekend. You'll start seeing reels about this car in the coming days. I really enjoyed this. Just a very enjoyable drive. I know that with some people, they're skeptical about electric cars. No. That 10 years ago, fair enough, valid, when the technology was still emerging. But nowadays, the electric cars are as good, if not better, than their petrol and diesel equivalents. But if you are still a petrol head, then let me show you this one. This is the OMODA 5. Now, if you're watching and you're thinking, why on earth is there a giant rugby ball? Hermiston is fine, I'm in Livingston. Good, we're fairly close by then, Bill. So, this OMODA 5, you've seen this big rugby ball. It's because OMODA JAECOO are the sponsors, or one of the sponsors, of the rugby's European Cup. It's like the Champions League of rugby, which is why a few weeks ago we were at Murrayfield. We had our cars down there. People were grabbing some merch off us, grabbing some rugby ball key rings, and that is because, yes, OMODA JAECOO are one of the sponsors. Kyle's saying he's visited the Cardiff branch to look at the JAECOO J7. My father-in-law is getting one. Kyle, I've driven the J7. I really, really like it. We're going to show you that in just a few minutes' time if you want to stick around. I'm going to see if I can get into these cars as well, because that is one of the joys of driving. Not just the fact that it looks so good. But hey, this door does open. Great. Okay, we're going to come back to that. So with this OMODA 5, the thing that really strikes me is the grille. It is such a head turner, because that's the kind of thing that you want. You want people to be looking at what you're driving. As often happens with supercars, because I find myself doing it all the time. I'm perhaps driving somewhere and I can see there's a McLaren coming towards me. And of course I can't help but go, because it's a beautiful car. Same thing happens with this, because this grille is unlike anything else I can think of on the roads at the moment. To me, it's like a beehive, honeycomb. That's the vibes I'm getting. Although someone said to me recently, this does look a bit like the eggs that you see in the Alien franchise, which I can totally see as well. But it's certainly a head turner, it's an attention grabber. I really, really like it, and particularly in this color. This is jade green. But to answer a previous question, the OMODA 5 does come in a range of up to 7 different colors. They all have very fancy names, things like obsidian black, but you can find out for yourself. B. Costa saying, definitely not. It's not a head turner. I disagree. I would say it is. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. That's okay. And thank you for the comment. When does the 9 hit the showroom? That's expected in June. I think it was Jason who asked. When does the 9 hit the showroom? June. And we're currently in nearly May. So that's like 6 weeks away till the OMODA 9. But here's the OMODA 5 in the meantime. I've shown you the front. So let's go handheld, shall we? And we'll get inside the OMODA. This one in particular, as I say, I really, really like the color. Awesome, looking forward to that. So am I, Jason, because I'm all about these new cars, these new brands coming our way. So, for example, jump in here. This is exactly what you're going to see when you come into an OMODA. This is the interior, looking really, really nice. The JAECOO J8, someone's asking. I believe, and I will get this checked, I believe it's next year that the J8 is on the way, but I'm sure that yeah, someone nearby is going to confirm. Why is it left-hand drive? It's right-hand drive. This is just it's mirrored. This is mirrored. If I flip it around, you'll see this is UK specifications. Here's my right leg on the right-hand side. But yes, I believe that's the joys of mirrored technology. Hence why my logos are backwards. All right, yes, the video is flipped. It's mirrored. So this is right-hand drive. It's UK and Ireland specified. Okay, let me show you. This is the kind of thing that you're going to see if you're sat in the OMODA 5. Very modern, very sleek. I really like the wireless charging capabilities here, as well as a very minimalist interface. This is the kind of thing, now I'm going to avoid starting up the car because we are inside a dealership here. So there's, yeah, you know, things like carbon monoxide we want to avoid. But if we start all this up, you'll see it's all contained in a very minimal interface. There's a lot of cars that I've driven where there are bells and whistles and there's tech everywhere and there's buttons and there's just too much. This OMODA 5, I can see some people saying they've loved it. I've had my OMODA Comfort 5 for 7 weeks now and love it. Fantastic. That is Super Aces 007. James Bond has joined our TikTok. Fantastic. Yeah, it is a really, look, I really enjoy this car, particularly the sort of level of premium that you get, this sort of the combination of luxury but also functionality, where, for example, you could have overcomplicated this. You could have made this way much more, but they've kept it minimalist. That's the word I was looking for, minimalist. And the same is true both of the steering wheel, but also just this one interface. So it's not having to have something over here and something over here and something over here. It's all self-contained, wireless charging, different modes. There's a mode button down there if you can see it, as well as copious amounts of storage space. I really like the trim as well. You can see here, the trim on these seats. It just adds like a level of luxury to this. And Charlie's saying, yes, it does look nice, all right. It certainly does. Okay, we're going to jump out. This is the OMODA 5. For those of you who are just joining me, I'm going to give you one final look at the exterior, and then we're going to talk about what else is here at Peoples OMODA JAECOO. In fact, I can see someone asking, how spacious is it? Shall we go in the back? Is the wireless charger on the driver's side or the passenger side? That's a good question. Let me check. I mean, it's in the central console, if that's helpful. It's on the left-hand side. As a reminder, this video was flipped, so I am driving a UK-regulated car. This is on closest to the passenger, but it is right in the middle console here. Okay, excellent. I can see someone else asking about the JAECOO 8. It is expected in 2025. I was wrong. I said it was going to be next year, but 2025 is indeed this year. I can't imagine there's a month date. No, I'm being given a shrug of the shoulders. At some point in 2025, the JAECOO 8 will be here. All right, we're getting in the back of the OMODA 5 because I was asked about the space here. This is the space you're looking at. Now, to remind you, if you are new here, I am 6 foot tall because I got measured. It also made me feel much better about myself. So 6 feet tall, and this is the back of the OMODA 5. I haven't adjusted the driver's seat at all. Plenty of room here, as well as something I really like, which is they have thought about the passengers in the back. And the way I can tell is because you have a little USB plug here, which I imagine is for charging. Yeah, you can see a little battery sign there, as well as some heaters or, you know, for your AC as well. It's a real level of premium in the OMODA 5. And the best way you can, rather than just take my word for it, is to come in for a test drive, or even just come into the showroom and have a look, because then you'll get to sit in the back or sit in the front and see where everything is. So the OMODA 5 gets a big tick from me. And hello to Joe, who's just joined. And hello to everyone who is still here. We're going to show you the JAECOO 7, because I know some of you have been asking to talk about the JAECOO 7, which is what we're about to do. Are these on mobility? That is a good question, Harry. And an answer I will get for you very, very shortly once my glamorous assistants have been able to help me with that. And a couple other ones. What are the deals on the OMODA 5? Great question, Reginald. This particular model is $310 deposit, $310 per month with Peoples OMODA JAECOO. So $310 for the OMODA 5, $339 for the E5. And they are all on mobility. So thank you, it was Harry who asked that. Yes, they are all on mobility, which is great news, great to have. Is there only one wireless charger? In the OMODA 5, I believe so. Yeah, I'm getting a thumbs up there. So there's one in the OMODA 5. So if you're driving with a friend or a partner, then you have to take your time, one at a time. But there's also USB, there's a USB charger, as I've just showed you there as well. Are they cheap for parts? Now, this is a question we often get because people are thinking, well, it's electric. Oh, it's new. Does that mean it's going to be super expensive? The reality is, because, for example, the E5 is an electric car, it means it's got fewer moving parts. If you've seen a combustion engine, and by that I mean a petrol car or how a diesel or a petrol car works, there are more moving parts in that sort of engine compared to an electric car. And so, in my experience, fewer things go wrong with an electric car. And that means, as you can see from the amount of charging points that are being introduced across the UK, as well as garages who are specifically working on electric cars, you're going to find that technicians know exactly, if something does go wrong, how to fix it. And Peoples, which is the dealership we're in at the moment here in Edinburgh, they offer service plans as well for the vehicles. All right. Tan saying, OMODA versus JAECOO, which do you recommend for drives from Scotland to England? I would say the JAECOO, which is a brilliant segue, Tan, because we are going to talk about the JAECOO. I have driven all three of these. Personally, this one is my favourite. The JAECOO 7. And I know that people are impatiently waiting for the JAECOO 8, but this is a great car to have in the meantime until we get that JAECOO 8. It's giving, look, I know people say it all the time, it is giving Evoque vibes. I get that. But for the price tag, I am more than happy. As I'm seeing all the time now on the roads, people clearly are just like, this is a beautiful car. It drives really, really well. So who cares what the badge is? Because actually, if it looks as good as it does, if it drives as good as it doesn't really matter. This is a petrol car, just for clarity. It does look amazing, Leo. I'm a huge fan of this. I want to see if I can close the boot, because I want to see if I can show you the back. Now, can I close the boot? Yes, I can. Oh, fantastic. And you'll see what I mean here. Like, if you see that on the roads, that's the kind of car that people go, oh, okay. I'm liking the look of that. It's that mix of affordable luxury and a really good drive. And having driven this myself, again, for about a week in total, I can agree, it does drive very, very well. And it does look absolutely fantastic. Jason's saying, I love the J7, but the wheels need to change. I imagine you can change the wheels yourself. Well, maybe not personally. You know, I would be stuck if I had to do that. But yes, I imagine you can customize these things in the long run. All right, let me take you around the back first of all. Jump into the passenger side. We'll start with the space, seeing as we talked about that with the OMODA 5. Dante asking, or Dante, what are the servicing prices like on the C5 petrol? Do you mean the OMODA 5? Well, for service plans, the best thing to do is to get in touch with us. peoplesomoda.co.uk. We'll talk you through servicing plans, costs. OMODA or BYD? Is that a question, or are you asking for clarity? I've driven 2 BYDs, both of which I really enjoyed, but that's for future lives. Today we're looking at the 2 OMODAs, the 5, the E5, and indeed the JAECOO 7. So jumping in the back here. All right. Reese saying, unfortunately, everyone these days is about image and want the German cars. If you look on the roads, you're going to start seeing a lot of JAECOOs. I saw 2 this morning on the drive into Edinburgh. So for some people, yeah, they want the German cars. But for some people, they're looking at the JAECOO and thinking, yes, this is the kind of car that I would like. And I'm a huge fan of this one. So for example, one thing that I really like, first of all, is we have these LED strips that automatically just come on anytime that the car is essentially just sitting in an ambient mode. It's too loud. Again, I disagree. I really like the fact that the JAECOO has a bit of bite to it. For example, if you're driving a supercar, you want that engine to roar. You want that engine to let you know it's there. The JAECOO is similar in that you put your foot to the floor, you're going to feel it, you're going to hear it. That's what I like about that. It still retains the rugged feel of driving a really powerful car. Okay, in the back here then. Once again, plenty of space. This is the kind of thing that you can expect when you get into the back of a J7. Stephen asking, what is the dash like? How's the suspension? I thought the suspension on the JAECOO 7 was good. I have a lot of speed bumps where I live, and it handled them much better than my Ford Fiesta, I'll tell you that. All right, getting into, because I can see some people asking about the dash. this is the front of the JQ7. If indeed you want to avoid taking my word for it, come into a dealership, see these cars for yourself. Currently inside the JQ7, I'm going to show you this one. Here is the main console. As a reminder, this video is flipped. So I am sitting in the right-hand side. This is a UK car rather than a left-hand side, which should be either Europe or America. We are here in Edinburgh. So this is the central console. Again, it's nice and minimal, but it feels very luxurious. This is the SHS version of the JQ7, which is a super hybrid system. So essentially it's petrol, but also it can run off its own electricity as well. So that means a combined range of 700 miles, which is pretty good, considering, for example, someone like me is driving to Aviemore. I need something that has a good amount of range on it. All right. So the mileage, I've basically just answered that question, Minnie, so thank you very much. That's 700 miles on this combined, this SHS, this hybrid JQ7. All right, so one more time. This is what the middle console looks like. We have, once again, wireless charging. This is on, it's closest to the passenger side, but it is right here. And then we have, as usual, your sort of cup holders and various amounts of space. One thing I'm yet to show you, and I believe it was the same in the OMODA 5, is the amount of space down here. I can't even, am I showing this? Yeah, there we go. So rather than it being like a big console, there's actually space under here, as well as some extra charging points, which I really, really like, particularly if you've got, let's say, an Apple, and they ask for your specific lightning charger cable. This actually has thought of that. It has like a lightning cable plug down here as well, on top of the wireless charging. Someone saying, is it self-charge or plug-in? That's a good question. Thank you very much for the question. I will answer that question as soon as I know the answer. It is, it's both. It's both. Thank you so much, Reginald, who is saying, is it self-charge or plug-in? It is both. So, for example, it will have regenerative braking. So if you're basically going slowly, if your foot's off the accelerator, it's going to generate its own energy, which is really helpful. But also, if you want to give it some extra juice, you can indeed plug it in. But it is a petrol car as well, so you could just fill it up as you would, and the combined range is 700 miles, which is excellent. Some of you asking for the pricing. Now, I'm going to take you out wide here, because there's a couple different options for the JQ7. The first one is $390 deposit, $390 per month. That is for your standard JQ7, the Petrol Deluxe. There we go, Petrol Deluxe. But this one is the SHS. This is the hybrid. And this one is $437 deposit, $437 per month. But if you want the Petrol Deluxe, that is $390. $390 deposit, $390 per month. Whereabouts are you based? Says user 531966077. Catchy username. We are based here in Edinburgh, Peoples OMODA JAECOO, but we are also in Falkirk and we're also in Liverpool. So if you want to come in, have a look at the JQ7, or indeed the other two cars that I've shown you, you can do that. Come in, even book a test drive of one of these cars. The JQ7 in particular, as I say, if I had to pick one, this is the one I'm picking. I really, really like this car. Rico saying delivery on the 16th of June, getting the J7 Petrol Luxury in black. Excellent choice. This one is sort of like a, again, the light is interesting. I think you can see it. It's sort of like a bluish grey. It's like a metallic-y blue silver. Never heard of the brand. It's a new brand, Hexagon. So this one is coming over from China. It's essentially a brand new player in the UK market. It is a stunning car. Is this a 7-seater? No, it's a 5-seater. Currently, do you guys do Motability offers? Yes, we do, says Richards. This JQ7, as well as, very quickly over my shoulder, the OMODA 5, which I think is really stunning. I love the front of it, as well as the OMODA E5. All of them are on Motability. And someone else saying, yes, you've got your JQ7 arriving Tuesday. SHS in silver. Do you know if there's a franchise near Leeds? If Liverpool counts as being near Leeds, then yes. If it doesn't, then no, not yet. But give it time. You know, the year is still young. But no, if Liverpool is near Leeds, which my English geography is lacking, then yes, we do. But if it's slightly further away, then I'm sorry. Okay, let's go around the back, because I can see some of you saying, does the E5 and the 5 have different interiors? Rico preferring the alloys on the OMODA than those in the J7. Interesting. That's really interesting, actually. I want to have a look at that. I've not even thought of that. So the alloys in the J7. Get a map, pal. Well, that's, I mean, if, again, user numbers. I think Leeds is like in the middle and Liverpool is to the west. I'm fairly confident of that, but anyway, I'm going to avoid getting into geography. This is why I failed geography in school. Okay, so J7 alloys, they look like that. Do let me know which one you prefer. I like that. And then here's the OMODA alloys. I do actually think you're right. I think the OMODA alloys are nicer. But good suggestion. I hadn't even thought of that. All right. There's like 80 miles between them. 80 miles is nothing. I grew up in the far north of Scotland, as far north as you can go, in a place called John O'Groats. And as you can imagine, there is nothing there. Nothing. So our big days out, our exciting family days out, were to go to Inverness. Inverness is 110 miles away. It's nothing, 80 miles. That's nearby. That's a day out, like going from Leeds to Liverpool. All right, thank you very much. Again, I'm going to stop talking about geography. Is there a branch in Linwood for the JAECOO? No, not currently. Falkirk would be your nearest one. And as someone who does a lot of work in Glasgow, but lives in the Falkirk area, it's like a half-hour drive. That's nothing. 80 miles, 30 miles. Easy peasy. Do you know towing capabilities? I don't off the top of my head. I would say the JAECOO comfortably, I mean, they're all SUVs. Put it that way. They're all SUVs. Chloe's saying she recently got a JAECOO. I love it. Nice, Chloe. A huge fan of the JAECOO. I can see lots of people have been getting the JAECOOs. And hello to everyone who is just joining. I went to Linwood for a test drive, says Hamza. Excellent. Glad to hear it. Of course, if you want to book a test drive, Peoples OMODA JAECOO is here in Edinburgh. It's in Falkirk. It's in Liverpool. The JAECOO 7's towing capabilities, we can tow up to 1,300 kilograms, which is like just over a ton. And I imagine, again, from my limited experience with caravans, most of them would be less than a ton. So the JAECOO 7 can tow more than a ton. Great car. Insurance group, says Shona. It will depend. It will depend on your own track record of driving. If you are a good, safe driver, like myself, with zero crashes, zero nothing, then your insurance is going to be kinder to you. And also your age. If you're 18, driving a JAECOO 7, your insurance is going to be higher. So it really does depend. All right, what else do we have? JAECOO 7's insurance group ranges from 21 to 31. Depends on the model, depends on the trim. Specifically, the luxury version's in group 21, and the deluxe is group 22. If any of that made sense to you, Shona, I'm glad to hear it. But yeah, basically, it depends on the driver. Okay. What's the difference between the OMODA and JAECOO? What's the key differences between them? I missed your username. What was that? Dickie Dodd and Wolverhampton. What's the best OMODA or JAECOO? What's the key differences? I would say it is taste. The best thing to do is book a test drive. Personally, I would say that the JAECOO 7 was the best to drive, but I do really like the look of the OMODA. I would say in terms of a drive, I did prefer that one. Did prefer the JAECOO. It has a bit more bite to it. And also depends on the version, because this comes as a petrol, but it also comes as a hybrid, which is what this one is. It's a hybrid. So one last time, because we are getting to the end of our live here. Lots of comments. JAECOO 7, Ryan is asking prices. All right, prices for this JAECOO 7. This version is the hybrid, so combined range of 700 miles. Current offer is 437 deposit and 437 per month. But if you want the petrol version, that is 390 deposit and 390 per month. So hybrid, 437, petrol, 390. And if you want to find out more, peoplesomoda.co.uk, or indeed, just tap our profile. You'll see me in lots of different videos with lots of different of these cars. Loads and loads of different things you can get and different offers. Demi Jade McGee saying, do you know when the JAECOO 8 is coming? It is coming this year. We do not know the month, but it is 2025. That has been confirmed. So Make sure you're following. You'll be the first to know about the JQ8 when it is coming at some point this year. Is there stock of them available? That's a very good question. Is there stock of the JQ7? Yes, there is. I'm getting the nod. There is stock of the JQ7. Someone's saying they want it in 7 seats. It's a 5-seater at the moment, but I imagine as the brand begins to continue to expand and grow, they will have it in a 7-seater. Because I certainly, again, I grew up where our family car was an 8-seater, because there were 6 of us. And those 8-seater cars, they were few and far between, and they were almost always terrible. So the faster we can get a 7 or an 8-seater JQ, the better. All right, can you show us the entertainment system? That's a good question. I don't know. Can I? No, we're inside a dealership here. If I start this, then we may all suffer from carbon monoxide. But do you know what I would suggest, whoever asked that? Brummy Arcade. I'm sure I said that correctly. Head to our profile. If you tap on our TikTok page, you will see a bunch of videos on the entertainment system, what it looks like inside. Basically, every week I get a different car and I film lots of stuff about it. So if you want to see what the inside of the entertainment system, what the software does, head to our page and you will find out more. All right, it is almost time for me to go. Is it possible to test drive? Yes, absolutely. We're here at Peoples OMODA JAECOO in Edinburgh, but we're also in Falkirk. We're also in Liverpool. If you want to test drive any of these ones, as a reminder, JAECOO7, the OMODA 5, or indeed the OMODA E5. One last time, $339 deposit and per month. $310 deposit and per month, all of which, by the way, are SUVs. It's one thing I've failed to get across. These are big cars. These are very big cars. And the JQ7. This model, $437 deposit and per month, and then $390 for the petrol edition. What's the mileage range on the OMODAs? The E5, which is the one over by, that is 257 on a full charge. This one, the petrol, that's a good question. I don't actually know off the top of my head the mileage of the petrol, but as with most cars, I imagine a full tank is going to get you 350, 400 miles. That tends to be the average at the moment. But of course, best place to find out more is peoplesomoda.co.uk. All right, it is time for me to go. Thank you all so much for the question. This has been great. I've really enjoyed being here. If you do want to find out more, come and visit a dealership and you can get to see all of these cars that I've shown you today. Thank you, Leo. Have a good day yourself. The OMODA 5, the OMODA E5, which is over here, the JQ7, right in the back. And rather than take my word for it, book a test drive. And rather than think, well, how good can it really be? Find out for yourself. Book a test drive with Peoples OMODA JAECOO. peoplesomoda.co.uk. Tap the profile. You'll see lots more videos about these cars. And until next time, friends, have a lovely weekend. I will see you again next week. Bye.